Let's wait for the first 30 seconds to go by, and then the stream will start. 400 grit, yep, looks good. We'll stick some Civivis on the table, because people seem to like Civivi. I know I have more Civivis than that. Oh, they're in the box. Duh. Oh, my bad. I'm not that old. You know, of all the knife companies that I thought I'd have a huge collection of, Civivi was not the one I would have thought. But oh boy, do I have a lot of these things. I mean, look at that, just a pile of Civivis. All right, the stream's starting to pick up. Now we'll start the sharpening. That's all I was waiting for. I wanted at least 3 people in here. And frankly, 4 is just more than 3. So what we're going to be sharpening today is an Esee Izula. I just bought this today. I bought 3 knives today for $20. And I will show them on the table real quick here in just a sec. Got a pretty damn good deal if you ask me. And okay, so I got a Civivi X-Arc right here. D2, G10 scales, liner lock, front flipper. It needs a cleaning. These 2 and another mini Praxis. This mini Praxis has the tip ruined, but it has been sharpened by me, so on the bright side, at least it's really, really freaking sharp. Hey, scrap paper. Nice and sharp. So these 3 right here were $20. I know this thing is ridiculously expensive brand new, which is why I wanted it, but it doesn't have the sheath, so that kind of sucks. Just take a look at how it's going. Not getting where I want to. Yeah, but honestly, like, this thing's pretty trashed. And I'm probably just going to sell it to some, like, I'll probably buy a sheath and then sell it for like half off or something. That is much better. Okay, so that needs to be ground down. Well, I owned an Esee chirp that I sold to knives, I guess. You know, the quality control on these could be a lot better. Really disappointing quality control right here. It's not a big deal. Last night's stream. Oh, I don't repost them most of the time because I forget and nobody reminds me to do so. So I just don't post them. They also take, so when you're live streaming, YouTube is saving the whole video. It's a video on demand and it saves it. But it also takes about 3 hours after the stream for it to show up and be available for you to upload. So it just takes a while for them to show up, which is why I forget to upload them, because by then it's the next day and I'm not thinking about last night's stream. That's completely understandable. I would do them earlier, but Knives, I guess, is streaming at the same time. And I don't want to screw up his analytics, but I also have my own people that show up later at night. Last night's stream got 4,800 something views over the 3 hours and 45 minutes that I was on. And it did pretty well. Oh yeah. Look at how sharp that is. This thing is trashed. So the downside is I need to completely reprofile this. And with how thick it is, oh, that bevel is going to be huge. I was expecting this to be like a 30-minute stream. This might be way longer than that. This might not take as long as I thought. I still haven't apexed after all that, which is fun. Yeah, Fridays tend to be pretty busy. I would stream more, but there is sensitive information in the house that has to do with banking and fraud that I can't have you guys listening to. I would also do the 3D design streams again, but those streams did not do well. They did actually shockingly poor for the amount of effort that I put into them, unfortunately. I expected about 4 or 5 times the viewers that I got. Man, I can't have you blowing my cover like this. No, I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't find the thought of betraying my home country to be very appealing. Oh, this is gonna suck. Look at all that steel. Just steel powder. It'd be nice if this thing wouldn't move around. Oh, this is going to take forever. And that bevel is going to be huge. But I saw that coming, so... Yeah, I can see why knives, I guess, wouldn't enjoy doing this for extended periods of time. But he also has a fixed angle sharpening system, and I don't. I have arms. Oh, this sucks. Normally sharpening isn't all that bad, but normally I'm not stuck on the first stone for this long. Nope, I can't do that. Well, we're getting closer. It is thick. Real thick. I apexed. Partially. Finally. You know what's weird? Is looking into last night's stream metrics. And I forgot that I was at 850 subscribers, not 950. So I'm sitting there thinking, there's no way I didn't hit 1,000 tonight. And last night's stream, I got 12 subscribers, and I'm sitting there on the stream. You can hear me at the end. I'm like, oh, 12. Nice. Inside, I'm just like, I just did 3 hours and 5,000 people watched. And out of 5,000 people, 12 people subscribed. And I don't tell people to subscribe because I find it annoying when I have it happen to me. But, yeah, the disappointment I felt last night was pretty strong. Yeah, I appreciate it. I won't tell people to do it myself, so. It's also one of the reasons why you're a moderator. Which I'm surprised because Knives, I guess, gets people asking to be moderators all the time, and I've never had anybody ask. And my numbers, my viewer numbers aren't that far away from his either. So he obviously gets all the weird people. And for some reason, I get all the normal people. Broke ass Knives, what is up? I get a lot of silent people too, yeah. No kidding. I think I have one of the quietest streams on YouTube. I had 55 people at once last night, and nobody talked for like 45 minutes. It was sad. Yep, pretty much. Well, I don't really care because they're getting me watch time, and if I get enough watch time, YouTube starts paying me, and if YouTube starts paying me, I can start buying more knives, and then I can do member giveaways. And my thought is, what I'm going to do when I start monetizing the channel is members. Every month there will be a member giveaway. Unfortunately, I don't know how to ship to other countries, so I'll need to look into that maybe. But for the first little bit, it'll only be for the US and possibly Canada and possibly Mexico. The idea is it's basically a raffle where one of the members wins, and you get shipped a knife that I decide is close to how much the cumulative cost of everybody of all the memberships is. So let's say if the membership is like $2 or $3, let's go with 2. If the membership is $2 and 20 people subscribe, The knife will cost about 35 bucks. I keep 5 for myself. Well, 5 for shipping, I guess. And then, yeah, it'll be a $35 knife, and there you go. There will also have to be rules surrounding that because, unfortunately, or fortunately for those people, sometimes people win more than once. Fook, I'm talking to you. So I've got a burr on part of this thing. I don't have a burr on the rest. Oh boy. I don't know what envy means in Spanish. Why can't I hate both? I can hate the player and the game. One of my least favorite ways of doing giveaways is the number game. I genuinely hate that. Because I don't know, for some reason for me, it doesn't feel as random as I pass every giveaway for the most part. On Instagram, people tag me for giveaways, and I don't tag anybody because I don't want to be joining the giveaway. I don't like the tagging game either, which is why I don't do it. My giveaways are if you're subscribed and you're there live, you get something if you win. That you just get your name pulled and bam. I do the same shit that Metal Complex does, but with less knives and less expensive knives. Because I'm broke. All of this comes out of my account. So, yeah. Oh, we're closing in on the final bit of the 400 grit. How was it? Our local knife show is happening in August, I believe. They do it every year. Got some pretty cool stuff there every time, too. You don't always buy something. You're good. This was a random stream. I just bought an Esee Izula, and it really needed sharpening. And I figured it's boring to do it alone. How you doing? I've come to the understanding that I am a broke ass, and most of the things I can't afford are the things that I like. However, every once in a while, something that I can afford and I like pulls through, and that goes onto the channel. Sometimes it's used, sometimes I don't like it, and it just goes on the channel anyway because it was cheap. Can people look this up for me, somebody? What blade steel is the Esee Izula? I think it's 1095, but I'm not sure. Yeah, 1095. Their quality control kind of sucks. The plunge cut on this thing is trash. Blade's bent. Look at this. You see that plunge grind right there? How it's kind of rounded. And then on this side, it just doesn't exist. If it didn't exist on this side, I'd be happy. The blade is not completely straight. And I don't think this is from abuse. I think it's just their quality control is kind of trash. And if you look at it, that ant is in different spots. It needs more than just a regrind. This thing needs so much stuff done to it. It is possible. Yeah. But it doesn't feel like a not heat-treated steel. I can also test how easily it what's it called? Rusts. And if it rusts easy, then it's 1095. If it doesn't rust easy, then it's something else. Genuinely, I got it for like under $7. It was like $6.33 or something. It does deburr, actually. It feels like a regular steel that I've probably done before. But also, 1095, I know it's known for having extremely stubborn burrs because of how low it is in materials other than iron. $10.95 is about as basic of steel as you can get. It smells kind of weird too. It smells like when you're holding a penny. You know? Not that I think 1095 needs a 1000 grit finish. I don't have a microscope. I have this. If it would focus on the edge instead of the actual magnifying glass, that'd be great. Why are you using a kaleidoscope, man? You know damn well those don't work. They're probably fun to look through while you're high. Is ground fog in here? Oh, yeah. Hi, how you doing? I don't know. I don't get high. I just figured it'd probably be something pretty cool because kaleidoscopes look cool as they are. However, when you're high, that just sounds really, really interesting. So now we're just going to deburr this real quick. I'm going to be honest, guys. I might slow down on the videos because it seems like more people show up to the live streams than people that show up to the videos. You missed the whispering. But yeah, it seems like people show up to the live streams more. I don't see why I would put in double the effort to put out a video and live stream every week. And if you guys don't know, making each video, each of my 10, 12-minute videos takes about 2 hours. And it's mostly exporting from CapCut and not having enough space on my phone. That looks insane. Is it sharp though? Because I don't think it is. Damn. It's sharp where I sharpened it. Down here is freaking dull. But that plunge cut just got in the way of everything. It is, dude, this thing is so thick. And I did my regular, I'm guessing my sharpening is sitting at about 18 degrees. That's my guess. I have no clue. So what do you think I should do? Because I don't think it's worth making a video every week as well as live streaming. And I haven't asked my followers what they think yet. I don't know. Exactly. The live streams tend to do better with growth too. My videos, every long form video gets me between 1 and 3 subscribers. Every stream gets me between 5 and 12. I did. I swapped to a mini Praxis. I've already sharpened this one. I just want to see how sharp I can get it. This one I actually sharpened a few months ago on stream, I believe. I was sharpening it for a friend. He's the guy that sells knives to the pawn shop that I buy. And I cleaned it and sharpened it. I made a video on it. This is the one that squeaked when you opened it. And it is now real smooth. Now I was going to make a video cleaning the X-Arc here because it needs it. forever because I swap knives every week. I don't. I don't carry a knife for more than a week. So, um, with my dad, let's put it this way: my dad carries one of these. This is a mini Praxis from Civivi. This is I have 3 of these now, but he carries the green one with the black blade, and I sharpen it. I think in the last year I've sharpened it 3 times, and he does a lot of stupid stuff with his knife that I'm surprised he hasn't snapped a blade yet. He doesn't pry with it, but he cuts things that are thicker than you should with this thin of a blade. And overall, I'm just impressed with how it's lasted. So with his knife is what I go based off of. If his knife lasts forever, then that's the knife I'm going to suggest, or the company I'm going to suggest. For 2 years in a row, I got him a new knife for Father's Day. And I've come to understand that he likes this one. And he probably won't swap it for another without me buying him another. So what do you do with it? Because I know Maximet is known for high edge retention, but I assume it's also really chippy. Clean. Beautiful. Love those clean cuts. Because your work environment, if it only lasts you like 15 days, then there is a it's a pretty taxing environment to your tools. I'm going to be honest, I planned on this live stream being like a half hour. Yeah, so silica is what, a 7 on the Mohs hardness scale, which is completely different from metal hardness. But stainless is sitting right about 6 or 7, regular stainless. I expect heat treated to be about 7 as well, because the Mohs hardness scale doesn't work the same as the HRC scale. The Mohs hardness scale between 0 and 1, it's exponential. And by the time you go from sapphire to diamond, sapphire is like 100 times or maybe 1,000 times less hard than diamonds. So yeah, concrete stuff like that. That takes high wear resistance. Something I would look for, possibly. I'm not promising this will work better, but Sandrin, they make knives out of tungsten carbide. It's going to be a bitch to sharpen, but you could also send it in and have them sharpen it for like $50 or something, which is ridiculously overpriced. The Delatore, it's about $330. It's a slip joint, but I wouldn't trust their their regular locks anymore after my experience. It's not worth risking your lock failing or developing lock rock so quickly after purchase. But they do a lot of really cool stuff. Yeah, Rex 121 is like, what, an extra third on top of the edge retention of Maximate? Like, Rex 121 is just off the charts compared to every other steel. And it's not even close. But the other downside of it is the downside of hard steels. Chippy. If you treat it wrong, it chips. And then you get the fun experience of reprofiling. I didn't know they were coming out with another Magna series. I know they did. I know they were coming out with Magna Tough. I didn't hear much about it. Rexford Knives made a few. Made a few prototypes in Magna Tough a few months ago. I remember seeing it on Instagram. Far out of my price range. I couldn't afford them, but they were supposed to keep it a secret, and they deleted the post like 20 minutes after making it. Yeah, so all I have is this SATC stone, 400 and 1000 grit, and then my 600 grit DMT. And that DMT is old. Like, I think it's like 12 years old. We bought it when diamond stones were just really starting to be a thing. And it was $60 back then. One of these days I need to get some diamond emulsion or something. I need to make the decision to invest in my sharpening equipment. I just haven't done it yet. Is this sharp? Yeah. The problem with keeping sharp knives, nothing's ever dull. So when you're sitting here on stream, in a stream about sharpening, and everything's sharp already, like, honestly, I could just get some more practice, I guess. Because I don't expect these diamond stones to be sitting here wearing out. Hog off some material from this thing, because it was cheap. $2. And then I tried to sell it for $2 and nobody wanted it. Good news, I completely forgot to bring this up. My padded envelopes came in. I will now be sticking a shit ton of knives up for sale. Well, I don't see the point in fixed angle sharpening at this point in my sharpening anymore. because I've come up to the understanding that my sharpening, the way that I sharpen things, is enough. It's good enough that I don't need one. So I won't be blowing any of my money or any of the channel's money on that when my sharpening is good enough for what I do, which is cutting up cardboard and then food. Genuinely, my EDC use is it's so basic. I don't do almost anything with my knives. Stuff like, I do cut a decent amount of boxes, and I completely shred them. But most of it's food. And of course, I'm also that guy that uses my knife for things that my knife doesn't need to be used for. Like opening reusable bags and, you know, just stupid stuff where I could totally use my hands, but I have a knife in my pocket, so I'm going to use the knife because I want to. Yeah, I also use it like once every month or two to do a bag of cat litter, because I don't pour the whole thing of cat litter in all at once, and it takes forever to go through a bag of it. But yeah, for my uses, spending $250 doesn't make any sense. Now, I do want a wicked edge because I do. Bite me. That just seems like an awesome deal, especially for knives with curved blades. If you have a flat edge knife, you should not be using yeah, I don't get into the expensive stuff. This was $21. Works perfectly fine. If you need more than this, that is personal preference. Because genuinely, you have a wife? Wow. A knife guy with a wife. That's weird. You have fun with that. God, could you imagine being married in this economy? Probably the better way of doing things, to be honest. God, just imagine. I could afford twice the knives. Then we get divorced because she's mad about it, and then she takes half of them anyway. Now, what I find to be the most scary thought of that kind of stuff is when things don't work out. Because unfortunately, the women that are my age understand that if they leave and and there wasn't a prenup involved or anything, then she takes half the shit and possibly half of the assets as well. One of my assets being the YouTube channel. It isn't worth anything, but if it gets monetized, it becomes worth something. And 50% of the revenue from that going away just doesn't seem right to me. It is. It's sad too. Because I've come to the conclusion that marriage is no longer worth it. And I don't think I'll ever want to do something like that. There's nothing you can really do about it, you know? And it's not just the generation, it's the court system deciding that women have a right to things that I've earned. And obviously, we don't see eye to eye on that. But there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, this knife steel sucks. Don't get me wrong, I know this thing's going to be insanely sharp. But, oh my god, it's so soft. And I find it funny when people brag about their super cheap knife being really, really sharp. And I'm like, in my head, I'm sitting there like, yeah, it's sharp because all the teeth are lined up until you use it for the first time. And then it will be a piece of shit for the rest of its life. Ew, it's a mossy oak. Yeah, it's a mossy oak that's sharper than almost guaranteed any Chris Reeve that's on the planet. Take that. I'll be right back with a piece of paper to test it. All right. Piece of paper. There it is. Dang. Cutting paper sideways. Sharpen the paper. What I'm getting at is these cheap steels get so insanely sharp, and they're great for that first, second, and third use, and almost every time after that they become a piece of trash. I need to have a trash bin over here. I cut up so much paper that I genuinely need a trash bin. Or I'll just cut off my address from this box. and then I'll use that. I have no clue what a roll cut is. Trash bin. Yay. Let me go empty this. Yeah, they dull so freaking fast. It is such a piece of trash. I already know I'm going to annoy the hell out of somebody with OCD with this. I taped a piece of paper in there. It is stuck like that now. Somebody's going to be annoyed. But I don't care. So everything that's going up for sale, I do want to tell people so they know what to look for on my Blade Binge account. This thing is so smooth. Genuinely, like, it is pretty dang smooth. Because I, put lube in there and everything. But it feels so wrong. This is another one of those that's real cheap. This one's going up for sale too. But it feels wrong with how sharp this thing is as well. Let me get my my straight cut knife. And of course it's not going to be a straight cut, but sometimes it is. So take that. I have I have one Emerson, I think. It's the Launch 5. It's an Emerson design, so when you look at the cuts, there's no real fringe or anything on the cuts, except for right up here. So this thing is really, really sharp for how cheap it is. It's going to be sold for pretty cheap too. Brand new, they're like 22 bucks. I'll probably drop the price further than I did. I meant to drop it like $5 below how much they sell it for brand new, because it doesn't have the box and it's been sharpened. This one's going up for sale. It has that screwed up tip because somebody Somebody sharpened it like that. So this will be like $25 plus shipping. This one needs cleaned. I don't know how much it's going to be. I think they sell for like 60, so I'll get rid of it for 40. Maybe 50. I have to think about it. Because again, I haven't cleaned it. I don't know anything about it. The regular mini Praxis knives will be sold for 30. Brand new, they're sold for 35. They're basically brand new, just without the box. They'll be cleaned off before shipping. I surprisingly don't have an Openo. And I planned on getting one, and it just never happened. Like, I planned for it for a while, too. SOG Twitch 3. 154 cm. That's been cryo treated. I don't remember how much these sell for. I'll look these up as we go, actually. Let me go grab the other phone. And then I'll look these up and then tell you how much I can sell them for. Let me look something up real quick. So I think it's not a bad idea. Probably for the next 3 days for a Mother's Day sale, I'll take like an extra $10 off of everything that I'm selling. So I think that's fair. On any sale that I do, I'll take as much as I can off with me still making something, you know? I think that's nice to do. These will probably, the regular ones will sell for like 25. This one will sell for 20. Enough for me to make something on them. SOG Twitch 3. In black. No reviews. Really? They sell for $80 brand new? That's not going to happen. Not selling it for anywhere near that. It'd be like 60. Take $20 off the brand new price. The thing's almost brand new. It's got a couple scratches here and there. Still has a safety. I don't know. The edge looks almost perfect. Looks perfect. I'm not even going to touch it up before I ship it out. It looks great. But I think $20 off of brand new price is fine. I don't know if it sells well, so I have so much stuff I need to get rid of. And of course, I prefer selling directly to people. I don't want to use Blade Binge, but I don't have a following that's large enough to sell stuff directly. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Something else pretty cool that I have on the table. I haven't shown this off before. is a crystal. It's a sapphire crystal for a watch. It is just a solid sapphire crystal right here. The sapphire crystal or the twitch? Because the sapphire crystal wasn't too bad. The twitch is pretty expensive for the company. I mean, I thought that was pretty pricey. $80. You wouldn't catch me dead selling it anywhere near that. Ooh, fortune cookie. I'm so random. Now let's find out what the fortune thing says. Move all this stuff out of the way. I know I have impeccable taste. Thank you. Thank you everybody in the stream for noticing. It's freaking thick. That crystal is really thick. I think it's almost 2 mil thick. Dang. I start chewing on this and 10 people leave. That's sad. I think we have one of those. Give me a sec. Okay, we don't have that, but we have this. And I thought that was pretty funny. About time I got out of that cookie. But yes, I am indeed admired for my impeccable taste as a YouTuber, obviously. Everybody knows that YouTubers are perfect and can do no wrong. Or some BS like that. It's what they seem to think anyway. Then you screw up. Then people don't forgive you. Then you're stuck like Logan Paul or whatever. Or Jake Paul or whichever one of the brothers sucks. They both suck. But I think Jake was the one that's worse. It's alright. I mean, it's a buffet. It's a Chinese buffet. For the price, I mean, I think it's like $16 a head. But it's all you can eat Chinese food, and if you get the right stuff, it's not very filling and you can eat a lot of stuff. Tastes alright though. Yeah, he retired a few weeks ago. I watched his Off the Ranch video about it, saying his kids are coming up and are growing up, and he said when he looks back, I doubt I will ever say I wish I made more YouTube videos. But what you will say is, I wish I would have spent more time with my kids. And that's another thing is I've thought about having kids one of these days, but people are just freaking monsters these days and they use them against you, and I don't find that I would be happy with that in life. How you doing, Vix Blades? Does Vix Blades like fixed blades? That's a good question. I guess we'll find out if he answers. He, she. I am doing all right. I'm debating on whether I'm going to make a video about cleaning this or if I'm just going to clean it on stream. I'm thinking I'm going to clean it on stream because, see, the only downside of not making a video on it is stuff like maintenance, where you're taking your knife apart completely, cleaning it and putting it back together. The people who are looking for that won't find the video because you made a stream on it instead. So I've got like a video of me cleaning and maintaining the Kershaw leak. It's not a complicated knife, but it does take practice and it does take some understanding of how it works to know how to clean it. I've taken leaks apart over 40 times. I've held 30 different leaks. You do videos about fixed blades and folders. I don't touch fixed blades for the most part. This one was just really cheap. It was $6.33, so I bought it. I know brand new, they go for like $100. So, how you doing, Lou? We're streaming early today. We're also going to end the stream early as well, because I would like to, the blade lock, ever engaged? Yeah, fixed blades just aren't my thing. So, what do you mean by that? Because on this leak, the lock doesn't work. The tip broke off, so it's not, and the lock's broken too, but even when it was there, or if it was there, the tip isn't long enough for it to stop it from going anyway. This one, again, doesn't need the lock because it's broken. Yeah, no, this one, it's never done anything. It's also got a broken lock. My 4 other ones, on the other hand, I have one that's regular, just the average everyday leak. I do find the lock to be annoying when I try to open it and it's engaged, but I have to engage it myself. It will not do it by itself. I keep them tight enough to make it easy to do that, but loose enough that it's easy to do that. I don't go too loose. If you go too loose, then gravity gets involved, and gravity just opens it or closes it whenever it feels like it. So don't do that. This one's going up for sale too. Look at your name and say that again. Heh, take that. I don't know, I don't mind frame locks. Just replaced the spring on this one, by the way. This one's going up for sale, and it's not brand new, but it will be sold for 40. Brand new, it probably goes for like 120, so people are getting a good deal. Yeah, you don't have to have it that tight. The reason I still find it useful is because it won't open in your pocket on accident. Not that it should anyway, but you know, it's a useful tool to have on the knife. Why do I have so many leaks? This is a solid knife too. After that spring replacement last night, that thing fires with some serious authority. Nice and sharp too. I did my due diligence and sharpened it before I sold it. I guess I just like the leak. I have 5. 2 of them are going to be up for sale. The other 3 are mine. One of the ones that's mine is so I don't know. I buy most of my knives used. When they have broken parts, I fix the parts if possible. If they don't, oh, the tip broke. That was my fault. When I bought it, it was bent. And I said, I'm going to try to fix it. You know, it's super thin. You don't have much of a chance. But I got it almost completely straight. And then the blade snapped, and then the tip is somewhere in my garage. So, yeah. I thought you meant the lock. The lock is typically broken when I buy them, if it does break. It's actually better without the tip. Just saying. It's easier to sharpen by far. Hey Lou, do you buy stuff from Blade Binge often? I have questions that I need answered before I start trying to sell more stuff on there. Oh, I don't mind. Jared can do whatever he wants. He's not my favorite person, but he has a following of people that enjoy his content. So, you know. So, Aiden, since you buy stuff off there, what does shipping cost? Because the thing I like about eBay is I can put my own price on shipping, which is typically about $5, unless it's an expensive knife. I add insurance on top of that, of course. But dude, that's just bad luck. See, what you do instead of that is you buy a knife that is longer than the hole is wide, so there's a chance that it won't go in. And no, I'm not being serious about that. Oh, so the buyer gets to choose shipping price? Well, that's actually pretty cool. Then I don't have to worry about. Yeah, but the problem I have is I also kind of like doing my own shipping, my own shipping labels. I guess I'll see how it is. I'm not, and the other downside is everybody should carry a longsword. Everybody. That's why open carry is a thing. I like doing my own shipping stuff because I think that's the excuse for buying clones too. Is you buy a clone, if you like the clone, then you buy the real deal. The problem is everybody that claims that they do that only buys the clone and they don't buy the real shit. It's not very often I come across fake knives, so not super worried about it. It happens sometimes. Yeah, I buy some. The only time that I've spent over $200 on a knife, I regretted it. Well, fun fact, I'm not going to do that. And $5 in shipping ain't that bad. This thing needs tightened. Just a bit. This is not a T8. Not a T6. There we go. Yeah, I don't do that kind of stuff. The my stones, my plates are super cheap on purpose so I can afford to buy more knives. I'm cheap like that. But it gets you guys more content too. I need to start doing shorts more often. This month I think I've got 20,000 views, which is better than my last few months because I started doing shorts again. I lose motivation for the shorts very quickly though. I expect the tariffs to be over pretty soon. I mean, China has to give up eventually. Well, fun fact, if you sharpen your knives with a shovel, it probably won't be very sharp. Don't play with OTFs, kids. You'll get hurt. I'm not a kid. You can't tell me what to do. Stab. So the cons of the tariffs currently for me that are actually affecting me is the knife that I'm trying to release with Jin. I don't want to release it right now. It's I'm not going to tell you guys cost of the knife, approximate cost of the knife. We haven't come up with a full setup price yet. Approximate price is reasonable. And the sale price, the retail price, we're wanting it to be about 40. And with the tariffs on top of the build price, the retail price is going to be less than how much it costs to make it and ship it here. So everyone that we sell during the tariff action will be a loss. That's great, but it's kind of hard to do that with a couple thousand knives. You know how suspicious it's going to be at a TSA checkpoint when... So the name of the new knife, Knives I Guess picked it out. It's the I Guess So. I didn't like the name, but it's his knife, so I'm not saying I get a whole lot of say in it. We're hoping to have a few different blade shapes. He doesn't like my favorite blade shape, unfortunately. But I know that it's a good blade shape, so we'll see if it gets released or not as well. He apparently wants something like this. He did. He came up with the name. This is how it looks. It's it'll be thicker than this. It's about a 1/2 inch thick. A little under 1/8 inch thick blade stock. 1/8 inch thick scales and 16 inch thick, 16th inch thick liners. It's on washers because I don't like bearings. Yeah, my favorite is sheep's foot. And this was the design with the sheep's foot. Because I think that just looks like a good knife. The first blade shape is a drop point though. But that would be my choice right there. Unfortunately, I did tell them that I would have I would have everything all prepped and ready to be sent over to them so that they have the 3D models. Unfortunately, the 3D printer that I was going to use wasn't able to be used today, which means I need to push it out by at least another week. And I'm not happy about that, but if I send it to them and things don't fit and then they make it anyway, then we're stuck with knives that we can't use. It's a solid knife. I would trust it. It has 2 stop pins. You can ship to China. Shipping from China is the pain. So here's something that I want you guys to realize is that this knife, when it comes out, well, actually, I guess it doesn't affect cost of building. It affects cost of sale. So this knife that I want to be $40 will be selling on Amazon with the tariffs on top for about $60. It is. And how you doing, Lucas? But this is that's the blade shape that he drew. That's what he wanted. And it's a good blade shape. Honestly, this would be useful. I like this blade shape a lot. I don't like it as much as my design, but it will work out. It has a point, which is actually, useful. If it doesn't have a tip, then or a sharp tip, then you're kind of out of luck. And this thing is fun to play with. And I'm the only one who gets to sit here and play with this prototype. So, take that. I took inspiration from well, this was what he said was perfect. So this is what we decided is going to be working. There are other options, unfortunately. The most unfortunate of all the options, again, being that I really don't like that blade shape. because I don't like Tontos. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of small knives. I also have designs I'm working on that are just me. I have a couple that are almost ready to go. Tontos aren't useful for what I do. They get in the way a lot. Because most of my stuff is on a table, which is where this comes in because it's really flat. Not completely flat, but it's flat enough to be useful in the chopping sense, like, like kitchen knives. Now with this up here being in the way, that's going to cause problems with that kind of stuff. But it's also the easiest blade shape for me to sharpen. And I don't find that completely flat blades are easier than blades with a slight curve. That slight curve is, it's very helpful with sharpening. I don't believe I have a cleaver design yet. I don't know how well cleavers sell. And that's something that I need to know before I come out with a design is, will it sell? His thought was Knives, I guess, wanted what he wanted, which perfectly fine, honestly. I don't have my Pilar down here. I had it last night. You saw it. No, you weren't here. I did a whole collection stream last night. And my Pilar in copper has a shipwreck patina that I did that I found to be perfect. Absolutely perfect. So here's how it is closed. Total parts is 20. 22, maybe. I think it's 20 parts, though. I'll go get it. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. Unless I have a picture of it on Instagram already. Then I might just show you that picture. Okay, let's see. There it is. Okay. Let me turn up the brightness, and that's what it looks like. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I love doing the copper patina stuff. It's a little pricey for the end buyer, but I do custom copper pieces. Any knife that you find that I can take apart that has a copper scale, I will do custom work for. It's a little pricey. It's about $100 most of the time in the end. So whatever knife you're looking at, double the price, and that's about how much it'll cost. Some of them I'll do less than double. The Pilar, that small Pilar, I'll do for like 60 plus shipping. I need a down payment up front though for the price of the knife plus shipping. So, and if you choose that you don't want it, then I just sell it on eBay. If you choose that you want it redone, I will do one redo. you need to understand that if the redo's worse, then you're kind of stuck with that. So really think about it, because the amount of time that I put into this shit is ridiculous. I think, do I have pictures of my one-offs? Because I did have a one-off piece that I did. I don't know if I'd want to do that. If it's factory with copper scales. So my reasoning behind that is Spyderco is a pain in the ass to take apart. Every Spyderco, which is just this one that I've taken apart, I can't fully take it apart. And the reason why is this right here is peened at the end. And peening makes it so that it's slightly larger. And if I took this apart and actually pulled it apart, it would rip the G10 scales around there. And then I'm left with a destroyed looking scale on this thing. However, if you take it apart yourself, I will gladly do it. Just ship me the scales and I'll do just the scales. I don't need anything else. Or you ship me the whole thing and I'll put it back together if I can, because I don't know how you took it apart. Most knives are pretty intuitive. They're easy to put together. This one was one of my other copper patinas. This was given away for my 500 subscriber giveaway. My plan was, for every giveaway that I do, I'd give one of these away with a custom patina finish. And then what happened was this knife has been discontinued and they no longer make it in copper. So I can no longer do this with this one. Let's see. There was one-off that I did for Full Fire, and I charged him nowhere near enough for that thing. No, I just want to see our pictures so I can... I made a custom Yu-Gi-Oh card for it too. Do I have that knife anywhere? I don't. And it took way longer than I remember it taking. So yeah, custom copper or custom shipwreck patina finish with carving. The paisley carving. I love how that looks. It cost brand new. These were $17. The plan was to sell it for about $100 because it took 146 and a half hours of work. So I'd be getting paid less than $1 an hour on it. Most of that time was waiting. But yeah. It is also stamped, or I believe I stamped it with the number 1 on the inside of the scale, and then I signed it with the channel name, which I will gladly do to any of the custom work that I've done if you want me to. I don't find that being a problem at all. Yeah, he's got some really cool stuff. We don't talk a whole lot anymore. I don't know why. There we go. Yeah, anytime that I do custom copper work, I have to take the whole knife apart. So I need only the copper pieces. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. How many subs are we running at now? Let's find out. 874. Hot damn. That's a lot more subs than last night. Last night I was at 64. That's 10 subs today. Hell yeah. I should really stream more often. Is there anything else that I want to show off or talk about? Oh, I could just go grab that copper one that I was talking about, because we're sitting here talking about it still. So I'll be right back. That's all I was asking. I'm still streaming. Now, don't get me wrong, the copper patina finish is way nicer in pictures, but it's still pretty damn good looking. Now, I don't even know how this splotchy finish happened. It was just a complete failure, and I love it. That scared the shit out of me. Oh my god, my cat made a sound that just didn't sound like a person. I was like, or it sounded like a person. I was like, what the hell was that? "19 subs away from..." You have to have a certain amount of subs to be able to stream? God damn, how old am I? When I started YouTube, you didn't even have to... So first, you didn't have to have a certain amount of subscribers. And second, you didn't need... Like, you could stream anytime that you wanted. 50? That's not bad. Took me... what? A couple months to get to 50? I don't know. It was probably like a month or two. That's not that bad if you upload shorts regularly. Upload a short like every day. You know what's funny is I honestly forget that YouTube is a company sometimes, and that they don't have unlimited space, which it's a funny thought to forget about, but YouTube is such a large company with so much. I think they figured that there's like 10,000 years worth of content being uploaded every day. So what is your channel about, Caden? I appreciate the sub. And you know what's amazing to me is I'm on YouTube almost constantly, and it almost never goes down, which blows my mind how the hell they pull that off. Like, my power goes out more often than YouTube goes down. Yep, I just haven't seen you in a while. EDC. So here's my suggestion for shorts. I can't look at your channel right now. Okay, knives, watches. Okay. They have to. They have to have so many backups. So here's what you're gonna do for your shorts. These don't do the best, but they work and they get a good amount of attention if you want to try it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna set up your phone over a table or something like that. Do you have a tripod yet? Since you're so early in. If you don't, this will be a little tough, but that's another thing I don't understand is there's a lot of content creators out there where it broke. Yeah, that happens. They're fairly cheap, I think like 20 bucks. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to set up your phone or whatever you record with. And it's going to be over a table or wherever you want to do your short. You're going to pick a song, whatever song, and all you need to do is pull the knife out, show it off a little bit, open it, show the whole thing off, flip it over, and then take it off the screen, and then end the video, and that's it. That is all you need to do. 15-second short, super easy. I have no motivation to do so, but I know that they do fairly well. So that's what I would recommend for getting up there as fast as possible. Watch content. I don't do watch content. I've found that on my channel it doesn't do well because I've grown this channel to be about knives. So my watch videos don't do well, which is okay. That's just how it is. I do enjoy watches as well, but I found that they're significantly more expensive than knives are. So like the watch that I'm wearing right now that I probably should have swapped when I got home. It's a Addy's Dive. I don't remember the reference number. With quartz movement. It's a copy of Rolex Submariner. The plan is to eventually own a Submariner. My problem is they don't make them in titanium, which sucks. And then I'll show you guys what I usually wear. I usually wear one of these two. Or this one. So these are all Citizen Eco drives. I like the solar stuff because it's extremely cheap to maintain. So this right here, yeah, flashlights are pricey too. Like you wouldn't expect a flashlight to be $200 or $300, but they do it quite often. So this is a Citizen Garrison in titanium. The bracelet's titanium, sapphire crystal, date, great watch. This is a Citizen Garrison in titanium with the leather strap instead of the titanium bracelet. The green one doesn't come with the bracelet, so I've got a strap for it instead. I'll probably swap this strap for the bracelet I have on the Rolex Submariner copy. And then this one is so I can't remember the reference number for each of these. This one is a Citizen Chrono Super Titanium, reference number CA0700-86E. Yeah, that's too close to the next day. We'll just go all the way out and reset the time. Anyway, this chrono, I prefer bracelets because they I don't know, I feel like they're more sweat resistant than everything else. I have no clue what you mean by a good connection. If you mean the stream is nice and doing well, then awesome. If you mean something else, I have no clue what you mean. So we'll go ahead and set it to whatever time that one is. Okay. Anyway, this is the one that I wear the most. Full titanium bracelet, full titanium everything, solar and sapphire crystal. The reason why I prefer titanium over stainless is not only the weight. I shave my wrists specifically. I also mess around with knives so often that you kind of end up with bald spots on your arms anyway, so why not just work on the spots where you wear a watch? And I wear it on the right hand because I do chew on that. Most people wear them on the left. I wear it on the right, and then I need to reconnect. There you go. I wear it on the right because it's not comfortable on my left hand. So yeah, this one was gotten on a cruise. It was pretty expensive, almost, I think it was like $350. And I go on to what's it called? Marketplace all the time. I found this one on Marketplace. They wanted 200 for it, or they wanted 100 for it. I offered to trade for a knife. The guy said yes, and I traded a CRKT for this. I wanted the watch more than the knife. He wanted the knife more than the watch. We both won. I got a ridiculously good deal on it. This one I found at a pawn shop that is no longer a pawn shop. But $50. This was $35 for the head, and it was missing 2 links. So I bought these two right here. They're the least scratched. For $15, totals out to a $50 watch. These brand new run about $300. It is insanely expensive, and you can get really good deals if you just look around. It's also the most comfortable out of my collection in the winter. I do have separate winter and summer watches, by the way, because my wrist grows about 1/2 inch during summer over winter. This one fits perfect during summer. This one fits perfect during winter. I don't wear this much because this one means a little more to me. I wear it out for dress dinner and stuff like that. Anything that's expensive, I'll wear this because it looks expensive. And it kind of was. Chronograph, 5th second chronograph. So it ticks every 5th of a second. Slow return back to the 60-second mark instead of a flyback. It's a really cool watch. And you know what was hilarious was before we went on that cruise, I did a ton of research into what watch I wanted, and I ended up getting this instead. So he said, wait for what? No, this is just the chronograph. You press that. It's a timer. It ticks every 5th of a second. It's not as smooth as what you may be thinking. If you want a quartz that moves like an automatic, the one to look into that I personally would go for is what's the damn thing called? It's what I'm saving up for because I just love how it looks. Let me look it up real quick. It's a Belova something. Google, help me. I know I have this in my search history. Jetstar. The Belova Jetstar. So it comes in different colors. Make sure you get the right one. It is not a Surveyor. They look very similar, but they're not the same. So here's what it looks like. Pictures, actual pictures of the watch do it so much more justice than the advertising pictures. The advertising pictures look like shit, but it is, wow, it looks really bad on stream too. Just look it up. The Belova Jetstar in red. It comes in 2 other colors. One is yellow, gold, like that. And then maybe it comes in blue. I know it comes in white or silver or whatever. Here's the 3 colors. And it's just a gorgeous watch. So it has the let's see, how many hertz is it? 262 kilohertz. So high accuracy. I think it's like 5 seconds a month. It's a little pricey, sitting at around $500 on sale, or $400 on sale, depending on which one you get. Yeah, about 500, 400, depending on which one. So another one to look into if you're more into square watches is the Super Seville by Belova as well. It comes in a bunch of different colors. Super Seville. And you go on to the Belova website, and it comes in a bunch of different colors. One of them with a turquoise dial. One of these days it'll load. But yeah, it is a turquoise dial. Beautiful, beautiful dial. But it's stainless, and I don't particularly like stainless. It is a really good looking watch with that smooth, it's a really smooth rose gold colored stainless. with some sort of rock. I don't remember what rock they put in here, but that is a rock dial. Fluted bezel. Thing's beautiful. Genuinely beautiful. And then they make one with a wood dial as well. You can also look this up yourself. Every one of the wood ones is different. So maybe look at which one you're buying before you buy it, because they don't all look like that. Like this one right here looks different. All of them will look different because they're natural materials. They are not they are not factory made. Like the turquoise one, the turquoise will have different cracks. Yeah, those ones are out of my price range. They're about $1,200. The regular versions, though, they're about $550 to $600 anyway. They're good watches. They're out of my price range, but they are good pieces. I prefer the, I wish Citizen would come out with something that's more smooth, like an automatic, because I don't like the maintenance of automatics. I don't want to spend $300 or $400 getting a watch maintenance when I could just buy another watch for the same price. That's something people don't think about. I could go buy a whole nother watch for the same price. Anyway, seems like the stream's starting to die a little bit. We've been here for 2 hours. Ooh, strawberries. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a strawberry. I don't have an F91W. I don't have anything from Casio. I do. I think I have a Casio solar watch from my grandpa who passed. My grandmother gave it to me after, because she learned that I was into watches, and she's like, I'm never going to use this thing. I was wrong. It's a Seiko, not a Casio. I don't have any Casios. It's a Seiko Solar. I know nobody follows me for this stuff, but I don't get to show it off very often, so now you're getting the TISM. Take that. Yeah. Also, stretchy band, so it fits no matter what season it is. Now I have it left like this, sitting at 9 after 10 and 36 seconds, because that's where every watch dealer leaves display watches that don't have movements in them. This one runs just fine. You know, I rarely wear it. I wore it for like a month straight when I first got it. And the reason why I find it so cool is because you just pull your shirt up and then slide it on. It's not uncomfortable either. It's just, you know, it's just like a bracelet, just no clasp. Stretchy. It'll pinch you a little bit, but it's not bad. It's a little small on me. I typically wear watches that are sitting around 43 to 48 millimeters, which is huge for the average person. But that's just my size. My wrist is 8 inches, And this is 43 millimeters right here. This fills up most of that wrist space without looking too big. I can wear up to 50 millimeters without it looking too big. Oh. Most people can't pull that off. But yeah, these, I think they're called expandable bracelets. If you look them up on Amazon, they aren't too bad. This one came with it, but let me see what the name on these is. Like, there is a patent for this. And one of the other cool things is you can turn it inside out. Yeah, I can't find out what the patent for it is, but yeah, just look up expandable watch bracelet and it'll probably show up. It's a pretty cool thing. One of the other bracelets that I recommend is mesh bracelets. Now the mesh bracelets, they look like this. And this one specifically has a quick remove or quick release spring bars. So you can take it off quick. So you have just the watch head and then the mesh bracelet here. Mesh bracelets, they're really easy to adjust. I'll show you guys how to do that real quick. I got this watch for 20 bucks. A $20 bill. Got me a perfectly good diving watch. It's actually rated to 200 meters too. So anyway, to adjust this, there's these little spots right here you can see. This right here has a pressed in section. You pull this, it'll open, and then you can move this to anywhere along the sizing section. You can make it as small as there, which is absolutely tiny, by the way, 3 fingers. Or you can go all the way to like almost 9 inches. This is just huge right here. They're cool. They're comfortable too. So yeah, this is one of my favorite bracelets behind the titanium stuff. I don't think you can get these in titanium, but if you could, I'd have one by now. Because I blow money on stuff like that. How many... I'm sitting here thinking, doing a train of thought in my head without talking. I bought myself a watch box. It has, I have more watches than I thought I did. I think I'm sitting at like 18 watches. Not all of them are men's and not all of them fit. But most of them are men's and most of them fit. I think 10 of them fit me. 8, no, most of them run as well. Anyway, guys, I'm going to do a little bit more, maybe a little more practice sharpening. And then I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. There's 10 of us in here, 9 of us in here. And honestly, I was expecting to be streaming for 30 minutes, and I've been here for 2 hours and 10 minutes. So, yeah, 22 millimeters wide is not most watches. Most of mine are about 20 wide. The lug to, or the bracelet size is about 20. And then there's the question of what grade of titanium, because stainless is stainless, but titanium is a little more finicky than stainless is. That's sharp. I don't know when my next stream will be, probably next week. I don't stream as often as I should, but I usually stream late on Fridays at about 9 or 10 o'clock Mountain Time. We'll go ahead and finish sharpening this case knife. And then I'll end the stream. Because I got it up to 600 and then I never took it past that. Yeah, most people don't watch my late night streams. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for most people because it's freaking late. But you can also find me on Knives I Guess streams. He streams on YouTube as well. I'm one of the moderators in that stream. So if you ever want to come in and chat, you can. I'm not there all the time, but I will pop in at the start of the stream, almost every stream. So I'll find him real quick. You just look up Knives, I guess. No spaces, and he shows up. Damn, he has a lot more videos than I do. Explains a lot. Yep, in his stream, do not talk about politics and religion. Just as a heads up, you will get banned very quickly. That's his rules. So, it's not my rules. We can kind of talk about anything that is not dirty. I'm sure he'll figure that out. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Okay, let's go ahead and strop. This one will also be going up for sale. About $20. No, your profile pic doesn't change anything. It's what you talk about. I doubt if you bring any attention to your profile pic, he's gonna care. I have a feeling. I know what side of the rope he's on, but Jenny, I'm not going to be talking about it because that's his stuff and not mine. But yeah, just don't bring a whole bunch of attention to it, and I doubt he's going to care. For anybody curious, I do have a giveaway going on when I hit 1,000 subscribers. Apparently, we're a little further away than I thought we were. Anyway, the giveaway is a watch, a knife, and a mercury, not a mercury dime, but a 90% silver dime. So this is the watch we're giving away right here. Is a Citizen Eco Drive. It will have enough links to fit an 8¼ inch wrist. It's pretty lightweight, solid watch. Definitely an interesting crystal because it is not flat. Keeps time just fine. It is a little bit fast, which is pretty regular for a quartz. About 15 seconds fast every month is within reason for this movement. Yeah. This will be given away to one of my viewers that's in America because I can't afford to ship outside of the US. What I can do, though, is if you live in another country and you have somebody that's willing to ship it to you, I will gladly ship it to that person. It is in the US. The giveaway will include, if I can get a good one, this watch, a QSP Penguin, which was the idea. If I order a Penguin and it's not a solid or a good one, then we're probably just going to move on to, or I might just give away a Civivi instead, because I have quite a few Civivis sitting right here. I don't know, I'm thinking about whether I want to give one of these away or not. Not the most expensive giveaway. However, these watches are pretty pricey. I got it for a good deal. You don't need to know how much I got it for. You go ahead and have a great rest of your night as well. Thinking about a minute, I'm going to end the stream. It is a solid looking watch. They are folded links. They're not solid. Unfortunately, I would prefer to give one away with solid links, but I don't know. I got it for a good enough price for it to be given away, so I'm not. It's used. It's got scratches. But again, as I've been saying, it's free to you, so it shouldn't really matter. Strawberries. Well, got about 15 seconds, so we'll go ahead and start the outro and say, hope you enjoyed the stream. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.